There are an estimated 27 million people enslaved worldwide who are being forced to serve in the military or to sell their bodies for profit. About one-half of these people are under the age of 18. This crime is known as human trafficking, but should be called by a more familiar term: slavery. According to Louise Shelley in her book Human Trafficking: A Global Perspective, human trafficking is one of the fastest growing forms of transnational crime worldwide. If that is true, then I feel it is important that the public is made aware of the reality that a modern-day form of slavery does exist. In my presentation, I will inform you of what human trafficking is and of its different forms, where it happens, and why it happens. Human trafficking is defined by Free the Slaves organization as the modern-day slave trade. According to Human Trafficking: A Global Perspective by Louise Shelley, humans are trafficked for various reasons, including labor, marriage, organs, child soldiers, and sex. The two largest groups are trafficked for child soldiers and sex slavery. Plainly speaking, a child soldier is any person under the age of 18 and is captured and then forced to fight in a war. These children are often captured in large groups of children. The boys are turned into soldiers, and the girls are sometimes used as sex slaves. In Casualties of War, Child Soldiers and the Law, it was stated that about 20 countries recruit and/or capture children to be used in their military. Now, a sex slave is a person who is forced or coerced to have sex with a person or persons against their will. They are usually captured by a pimp who operates a brothel and makes a profit from the slave's services. In the book Prostitution in the Digital Age, it is estimated that 2.5 million people in 127 countries are bought and sold into sex slavery annually. Usually, when we think of human trafficking, our minds go directly to Southern Asia or to the Middle East. Slavery, however, is a worldwide epidemic. Slavery occurs all over the world, not just in the poor countries. In the United States, the use of child soldiers is illegal, and there are currently no known rebel groups committing this crime. However, it is estimated in a documentary titled Playground by Libby Spears that there are 300,000 American children forced into sex slavery. Slavery occurs in other developed countries as well. In Human Trafficking: A Global Perspective, Shelley records a report by BBC that auctions of Eastern European women were held at several London airports. While child soldiers are not generally found in developed countries, sex slavery is everywhere. In poor countries, slavery is different. Many slaves are captured rather than coerced. In extremely poor countries, young children are sometimes sold by their parents into slavery in order to prevent the rest of their family from starving to death. While this kind of poverty plays a minor role in the reasons slavery exists today, there are probably a few more prominent reasons. There are 3 key reasons why slavery continues on such a large scale. There is an extremely large profit to be made in sex trafficking. Traffickers can make $200,000 annually from one victim. In the book Prostitution in the Digital Age, it is estimated that the revenue from trafficked people worldwide amounts to around $10 billion yearly. Without high demand, there would be no need for slavery. The sad truth is that there is an extremely high demand for both child soldiers and sex slaves. While it is extremely difficult to find statistics on the demand for child soldiers, it is estimated in Prostitution in the Digital Age that female sex slaves average 868 male partners in 1 year in the United States alone. The most dominant reason that slavery exists today is the simple fact that humans are renewable. They can be bought, sold, and used over and over again. As you can see, slavery is still a huge issue in our world today. Whether it is child soldiers or sex trafficking, we must acknowledge its existence. The purpose of this speech was to inform you that there are still forms of slavery out there, and that they are extremely dominant and dangerous. It is important that you realize that modern-day slavery exists. I hope my presentation has helped you realize that slavery exists, and that I have been able to be a voice for those who have lost their own. Thank you.